keeping us from harm, showing us His grace and mercy by keeping us from harm through discipline, through a certain amount of correction that is needful for our life to keep us from harm. He protects us. And David said, even though I walk through the darkest valley, even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil because the Good Shepherd is with me. It is not a daredevil saying, it's not I am fearless saying, but it's a saying of one who said that the Master uses the rod to guide me, to correct me. I am so dependent on Him, and I fully know that He's one that I can fully depend on. That even if I have to walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I have to walk through the darkest parts of my life, I'm fully aware that the Good Shepherd is still right beside me. And if God is right beside me, I have nothing to fear. Deep in me, I may be uncertain if I may be afraid of the valley, if I may not do well in that valley. But I know that the Good Shepherd, the one who cracked my leg, never abandoned me and left me hurting. But He took me home, He nursed me, He found me. When I was lost, when I was blind, He clothed me, He taught me, He guided me, He provided for me. And what more, if I have to walk through the valley of the shadow of death, He's one that I know for sure that will never leave me in the valley of the shadow of death. And that's a great comfort, that if we are going through any circumstance, or if ever in the future we are faced with a time where it's so dark, so bleak, so hopeless, you can take comfort in this verse that says, even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, the shepherd that took so much effort to train me, to guide me, He will definitely not leave me here at this moment, at this darkest moment of my life, but He will walk through it with me. And because of that, the psalmist could confidently say, I have nothing to fear. When He is with me, I'm at rest in my soul. When He is with me, I know He's working in all things to bring about good to those who love Him and are called according to His promises. So I will fear no evil, for You are with me. Your rod. It was a weapon to scare off or to harm the animals, but it's also the staff that comforts me. Your rod and Your staff, they comfort me. The rod of the shepherd is not something that we fear, but the rod of the shepherd, the rod and the staff of the shepherd, makes me even more assured that the one who breaks me was the same one who nursed me, who guided me, and who will continue to walk with me. And so, when I think of the times where God would correct me, those are comforting times. To know that God was always with me. In the times when I'm going to make bad decisions, and God had to correct me, He was there. When the times I'm fearful and vulnerable, He was there. In the times when I'm going to face the worst times of my life, He will be there. The rod and the staff, they comfort me. In verse 5 it says, You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup overflows. What does it mean? The sheep, as I've said before, they're stinky animals. And because of that, flies flew around them everywhere. It wasn't uncommon for a fly to fly into the nose of a sheep, lay eggs, and the larva would hatch. And things could get pretty bad. And it could get so bad that it could drive the sheep so crazy you would see them bang their head up against the wall, even to a point of sometimes killing himself. But here it says that you anoint my head with oil. What a lot of shepherds do in those days is that they will pour oil on the sheep's head. It was like an insect repellent. The Good Shepherd says that I will even take care of that little bitty things that can irritate me. It shows that God doesn't just have a big plan of your life, but He even knows the details of the plan of your life. He knows you. He knows each and every one of you, your weaknesses, the things that irritates you, the things that frustrates you. God will even take care of that. There is a tradition in the Old Testament Palestine homes that you were allowed to show that you were allowed to stay at the table, and as a guest of that house, the host will fill your cup continuously. After this is finished, we'll fill it again. It's a sign that you are welcome as a guest of the home. As long as it was full, you were welcome in the house. When they let it run empty, it's time to go home. And David says that in the presence of God, in the presence of the Good Shepherd, that's how good He is, because my cup is not just always full, my cup runs over. God doesn't just say, I'm happy that you're a guest of my home, but He says, please stay. Please stay. You know, if being full is not enough to tell you that, please stay in the presence of God, He makes it run over. That God so wants you in His presence. Do we want God as much as God wants us? It's a beautiful imagery, and the psalm ends this way. With all this in mind, knowing my weaknesses and vulnerability, and the dark days that I will have to go through, and the bad decisions that I will make, and sometimes the stubbornness that I have as a person, and knowing that the Good Shepherd is there to take care of all these things and have my whole life in control, every part of my life in control. The psalmist ended the psalm saying, surely, without a doubt, 100% sure, goodness and love will follow me all the days of my life. Not just follow me, but will overtake me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. He began the psalm by saying, the Lord is my shepherd. You start your life not knowing where to go, knowing your weaknesses, but making God the God of your life. And if you do that, the journey of your Christian life, you will end up saying one day, surely goodness and love is the story of my life. It's not the dark days, it's not the time when I'm needy, but because the Good Shepherd was present in my life was just about the goodness of God, the love of God. And it wasn't just a love that followed me from behind, but it was a love that overtook me, that went over and beyond all the days of my life. Every single minute, every single hour, every single day, every single season of my life. It was all written about the goodness and the love of God. And the psalmist said, I will be in the presence of God. God